Hello everyone. In this session we are going to see about JavaScript, object key, values, entries, destruction assignment, date and time, and also about JSON method and toJson method also. I am Anthony and I am from Loyola College. So let's begin. Okay, let's see about object keys. So what is object key? Okay, first of all, let's step away from the individual data structures and talk about the iteration over them. In the previous chapter, we saw methods like map.keys, map.values, and map entries also. These methods are generic. There is a common agreement to use them for data structure. If we ever created a data structure of our own, we should implement them too. They are supported by map, set, array, etc. Plain object also supports similar method, but the syntax is very different. Object.keys, object.value, object.entries, these are the object that following methods are available. Example as object.keys in which returns the array of keys, object.value returns array of value, object.entries return the array of key value pairs. Please note that the distinction compared to the map that is given in the example below. Object.t is the syntax that which we use to create the object keys. For example, object key returns an array whose elements are string corresponding to the enumerable properties found directly upon the object. The ordering of the property is the same as that given by looping over the properties of the object manually. The object key method returns an array of a given object on enumerable property names iterated in the same order that as normal loop would. So here is the syntax how the object key must be inserted. See here, object.key insert object. So in the parenthesis, in the parameters, we should give the object name as the parameter. As I already told, object key method is used to return an array whose elements are string corresponding to enumerable properties found directly upon an object. The ordering of the properties is same as that given by the object manually in a loop is applied to the properties object keys. Object keys takes the object as an argument of which enumerate own properties are to be returned and returns an array of strings that represent all enumerable properties of the given object. Object keys takes the object of as an argument of which the enumerable own properties are to be returned and returns an array of string that represent all the enumerable properties of the given object, as I already told it. So let's see the applications of the object key. Object keys is used for returning enumerable properties of a simple array. Object.keys is also used for returning enumerable properties of an array like an object. Object keys is also used for returning enumerable properties of an array like object with random key ordering. So this is all about objects. The object values returns an array which contains the given object's own enumerable property values in the same order as they provided by for or in loop. And the syntax of object.values is given here. Object.values insert the parameter object. So it is an object whose enumerable own properties are to be returned. This method returns an array of and given object's own enumerable property value support. So the object value method return an array of a given object whose enumerable property values in the same order as that provided by for in loop, as I already told. The only difference is that in for loop enumerates a property in a prototype as chain well. Object value returns an array whose element are enumerable property values found on the object. The ordering of the property is same as the given by looping over the property value of the given manual. Object value method is used to return an array whose elements of enumerable properties. The ordering of the property is the same as that given by the manually a loop is applied to the properties. The applications of the properties are the object.value is used for returning enumerable property value of a simple array. Object.value is used for returning enumerable property values of an array like an object as the same in object.keys. Object.value is also used for returning enumerable property values of an array like object with random key ordering. The applications are the same as both in values and keys of the object values and value keys. The object keys ordering is property is same as that given by the object manually a loop is applied to the properties of the object values. Object entries method is used to return an array of given object's own enumerable property, that is key value pairs. The ordering of an object is same as that given by looping over the property values of the object manually. So the order of an array returned by object entries does not depend on how an object is defined, but is depend on there is a need for certain ordering. Then the array should be sorted first like an object entries a comma b. If something like a comma b, then it will compare with local. The object entry returns an array whose elements are arrays corresponding to the enumerable string keyed property pairs found directly upon object. The ordering of properties is the same as that given by looping over the property values of the object manually. So the syntax of the object entry is object.entries given in parameter entries. It is an object whose enumerable property key value pair are to be returned. The returnable value, this method returns an array of the given object own enumerable property, that is key value pairs. So this is all about object entries. But practically speaking, in the living world of object-oriented programming, we already know the importance of classes and objects, but unlike other programming languages, JavaScript does not support the traditional classes as seen in other languages like C, C++, Java. But JavaScript has an objects and constructor which work mostly in the same way to perform the same kind of operation. The applications of object entries are object entries used for listing property related to an object. Object entries is used for listing all key value pairs of an object. So here is an example where the constant object is numbered key value pair are entered and output is given as an array, that is 10, the name of the Adam is given, and 35, the Chris is given, 20 and Billy is given. So there are three object pairs are getted in the output array. The two most used data in JavaScript are object and array. So let's see what is destructing assignment. Objects allow us to create a single entity that stores data items by key, and arrays allow us to gather data items in an ordered collection. But when we pass those to a function, it may need not an object array as a whole, but rather individual pieces. Destructing assignment is a special syntax that allows us to unpack arrays or object into a bunch of variables, as sometimes that is more convenient. Destructing function also works great with complex functions that have a lot of parameters, default value, and so on. Destructing assignment in JavaScript is a JavaScript expression that allows us to unpack values, as I already told, from the arrays, properties, object into distinct variables. Data can be extracted from the arrays. In destructing assignment, of the left hand side defines that which value should be unpacked from the source variable. In other words, in JavaScript, the destructing assignment syntax is to a JavaScript expression that makes it possible to unpack values from the variables to distinct variables. Destructing assignment is a cool feature that came along with ES6. Destructing is a JavaScript expression that makes it possible to unpack values from the arrays or properties from the objects into a distinct variable. That is it, we can extract data from arrays and objects and assign them to into a variables. So that is all about destructing assignment. So JavaScript date object. So what is date? We know that date is combined of what is today, tomorrow, yesterday, that is. So get a date of the date in the JavaScript, we can use the function date. JavaScript date this is the syntax for JavaScript date. In the given example, variable d is equal to new date. In the d, the new date will be saved, that is the date is saved. By default, JavaScript will use the browser's time zone and display date as a full text string. As I recorded today, today is the date of Saturday, June 27, 2020 in 15:55 at 29 seconds at the Indian time. In my browser, this is what the time is. So this returns by the date function. A JavaScript date is fundamentally specified as the number of milliseconds that have elapsed since midnight on January 1st, 1970 UTC, that is universal time. This date and time is same as the Unix epoch, which is the predominant base value of computer recorded date and time values. So this is not about JavaScript date. Time is used to get time. For example, in the given example, variable n is equal to d dot get time. Variable n is equal to d dot get time. So in the variable d itself, the time will be saved. So the syntax for get time is date dot get time. So the date and time will be saved into the d. So this is all about time in the JavaScript. So next, JavaScript JSON. Let's say we have a complex object and we would like to convert it into a string to send it over a network or just to output it for a logging purposes. Naturally, such a string should include all important properties. But in the process of development, new properties are added, old properties are renamed and removed. Updating such toString every time can become pain. We could try to loop over properties in it, but what if the object is complex and nested objects in properties? We would need to implement their conversation as well. Luckily, there is no need to write the code to handle all this. The task has been solved already, that is JSON. JSON script. So JSON is a format for storing and transporting data. JSON is often used when data is sent from a server to web page. So what is JSON? JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. JSON is a lightweight data interchange format. JSON is language independent, so we can use JavaScript, C, and also we can also incorporate in Flutter or everything. JSON syntax is derived from JavaScript object notation syntax, but JSON format is text only. Code for reading and generating JSON data can be written in any programming languages. JSON syntax rules are: data is in name and in value pairs. They should be in value pairs. Data is separated by commas, curly braces hold objects, square bracket hold arrays. So we can see here the square bracket holds the arrays and the curly braces hold the objects. So this is how the JSON syntax should be. JSON method in JavaScript. The toJSON method converts a date object into a string formatted as a JSON date. JSON dates have the same format as Indian Standard Time as year, month, and date, and minute, seconds, and microsecond. So this is what the how the syntax is date dot to JSON. This converts the date into the strings. So this is what about toJSON method, which converts the date into the string object. Okay, in this session we have seen about object keys value entries, destructing assignment, date and time, JSON methods, and toJSON methods. So this is all about today's topic, and I'll see you in this session. Thank you.